Okay, here we go. Kansas City versus Houston. This is the playoffs divisional round, and this is Houston's first possession after Kansas City scored on their opening drive. So this is going to be 1st and 10. 1st and 10. Our personnel group is 2 running backs. So there's 2 backs in the backfield, and there's an extra lineman here lined up as a tight end. So we're going to call this we're going to call this 21 jumbo. 21 jumbo. Okay, because this guy has reported as a tight end. He's eligible, but it is an extra offensive lineman, 21 jumbo. So the formation from a defensive perspective is we have a cut split down here. We've got a tight end on the ball, and we've got a cut split up here. Okay, so we can call this cut 12 cut. Cut 12 cut. Backfield set. We got a quarterback under center, so that needs no designation. We've got a home back, which means this is some sort of I backfield. And this fullback is offset to the tight end. So the fullback's designation is either over or under. If he's to the strength, it's over. If he's away from the strength, it's under. So this is going to be I over. Okay, we've said the running strength is to the right because our tight end is here. All right, so this is going to be I over. So in total, again, this is 12 on, okay, or cut 12 on cut. And then backfield I over. Okay. Now we're going to go look at the other angle of this because that tells us the whole story. All right. So from this angle, what we can see is we're in an under front. All right. It's an under front because our 3 technique, Chris Jones here, is lined up away from the running strength. This is a strong right because we got a tight end here and he's an extra offensive lineman. So that makes it even more of a running front. So this is strong right. And our 3 technique is away from that. So this would be an under front. Okay. And now, watch this. Before the ball snap, Leo Chenal drops back down onto the line of scrimmage, and now he's the 3 technique. All right, and bumps 98 over to the 0 technique. So this is called a bear front. A bear front is 2 3 techniques and a 0 technique. All right, and this is what a lot of defenses like to do to stop the run. All right, so we're in a bear front now. Now, as soon as he shifted down there, I want you to see what happens with this extra lineman playing tight end. Okay, take a look at him out here. See how he taps his hip? And if you watch the fullback's head, as soon as all that happened, he looks at the tight end to say, what am I supposed to do now? Because initially, this fullback is planning on going outside here. So if we go back it up a little bit. All right, so from this defensive front, this fullback is planning on blocking outside the tight end here. Okay, but you can see as soon as they shift into this bear front, now he looks to the tight end. What do I do now? Okay, so the tight end taps his butt. He says, insert inside of me. That's basically what he's saying is insert off this hip. Okay, so now the fullback knows what he's doing. His eyes can go back to normal. All right, now before the ball is even snapped, Tranquil knows he's got 1 of 2 gaps, and Bolton has 1 of 2 gaps. This is a 7-man box. All right, and we have a fullback, so that means the fullback is going to dictate to us which of our gaps we have. So before the ball is even snapped, if the fullback were to go right to our defense's right, then Bolton will fit the inside of the C gap and let the safety come down and fit the outside half of the C gap. All right, and Tranquil will play 1 of 2 gaps depending on where the center is blocking. All right, this nose guard is taught to play backside of the block. So if the center goes this way, then the nose guard will end up on this backside hip. If the center goes to our defense's left, then the nose guard will end up on the backside of it. Okay, and so Tranquil has 1 of these 2 A gaps. All right, depending on which way the nose guard goes. So he's going to fit there if it's a right play. All right. And if it's a left play, then he'll fit out here outside of Karlaftis. And if it's a left play, Bolton will fit in the A gap left behind, which would be this one here. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at how that unfolds. Okay. So the fullback goes right. So they both go to their right gaps. All right, so there goes Bolton to the inside half of the C gap. He spills the fullback, waits for the safety to get to the outside half of that gap. And then Tranquil fits the A gap left over after the nose guard chooses his side. All right, and you can see they do that to perfection. And one thing I want to point out here is watch Leo Chenal right here. Leo's probably, 255? All right, and he's getting a double team here by 2 300-plus pounders. That's a whole lot of humanity he's fighting off right there. He does a great job of staying in his gap, fight as hard as he can to stay in that gap, and ends up making the play. This Kansas City defense is pretty good. Every time I watch the Kansas City defense, I'm impressed by Steve Spagnuolo. He obviously does a great job of coaching these guys up. They're always in the right gaps. They always fight hard to stay in those gaps, and they understand their roles. Until next time.